everyone, it's Eileen from Bates Photography, and I'm excited to share with you today tips on how I edit my real estate photos. And we're going to take this kitchen, and in a few simple steps, we're going to take it from this image to this image. Now, if you look at this image, it looks light and bright, and it really was all done in Lightroom. Now, many real estate photographers, especially luxury real estate photographers, they do phenomenal work using HDR. They use special lighting techniques and Photoshop, and we're not doing that. We're actually very simply using Lightroom. And we feel for us, we use on all our real estate shoots, we use the Sony a6300 and the Sony a6500, and we keep it simple. We shoot with a manual lens. We use the Rokinon 10mm. So what we're showing you is kind of just a simple way to get good quality results, and brokers, realtors, they're going to enjoy your work, and you can save yourself a lot of time. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So I'm going to reset this. Okay, so it's a very drab image, and I shoot in RAW, and we have ISO 100 up here, but there's no metadata. Again, it's a manual lens. So I'm going to come down here to the white balance, and I always check out auto white balance, see how it does. Okay, it didn't do too much, but I like where it's at, because I'm going to bump the exposure next, and we're going to see it clearer. Okay, it's a little bright. I'm going to go with plus 85. Now this is definitely pretty bright here. I'm going to boost the contrast right away. Usually I keep it in the 20s, but in this particular case, I think I'm going to go to plus 32. Now, I have to backtrack a little bit. I'm looking at this image and it's crooked and it's driving me a little bonkers. So I'm coming up to the crop up here. First thing I love to do is come over here to this auto, and I click it and see what it does. There you go. Auto straighten. It works. It looks good. And then the next step, I scroll down. So this is a little bit out of order, but I scroll down to the transform here, and I hit auto, and that works wonderfully. Okay, so now we're working with a straight image. So we did our exposure, we did some contrast. I always absolutely bring the highlights down 100%. Now, I want to show you that again. So we had a lot of blown out areas here. Just that drop 100% really showed a little bit of the starburst here in the kitchen, and that works. And I just love to boost the shadows 100% if I bring the highlights 100% as a neutral place. Now this looks a little bit bright. You can always bring those shadows back down a little bit. For right now, I'm going to keep it highlights down, shadows up. Now, I'm going to bring the whites down, but not by much. So we're talking probably like down by 30. And I'm going to take the blacks, and this is where I can add the drama here. Bring it down 42. Okay, I'm happy with that. We're going to go to the clarity here. For real estate, I like to bring the clarity in general between 28 to 35. Now, as I bring this up, let's look. I'm going to bring it 32. I'm going to bring this one up. I think it really works. Okay. So, I don't think we need to worry with vibrance. Saturation looks good. I'm going to leave it. Not doing anything with the tone curve, nice and easy. Nothing to worry about with colors here. It's more of a neutral color scheme. And I'm going to come down to the sharpening here. I like to keep it around 50. Well, there we go, 57. This is the general 50 to 60. The general vicinity I like to keep for interior shots. Noise reduction, to get an overall smoothness, I always bump it up a bit. So I'm going to bring it to 24. Again, it just smooths out a little bit. We're at ISO 100. We don't have noise. I just like what this tool does. So, okay. And always encourage everyone in my other videos, if you've seen them, to go ahead and experiment with all of these sliders. You can really find some neat things, and you might say, oh, why didn't you use that? So these are just tips that I like to use, and I feel they can help you guys. Okay, now we're at the lens correction, so we got to put in the lens. Nothing comes up again because it's manual, so ours is the broken on. Now, it guessed that it was a 50 millimeter. It is not. It is the 10 millimeter, and there we go. That adjusted the distortion. All right, now I love vignetting. You can see with a little vignette. In real estate, I have to fight the urge, but I do not use any vignetting. This way people can get the brightness of the room, and so just kind of resist the urge to use vignette with interior shots. Sometimes on the exterior shots, I will use just a touch of vignette. All right, for dehaze, again, I have a general rule that I like between 8 to 11. I mean, you can really, if people like a little more, they can add that, but I don't like to go crazy with this, so I'm gonna dehaze it to 9. All right, we're getting there. So now I go up here. I usually do a finishing touch called the radial filter up here. I call it a center light. In this particular case, it's light and bright, and we don't need the center light. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this center, well, actually not a center light. I'm going to bring down the exposure. Oh, I already had the exposure here down. So let's go back. So nothing's done yet. I'm going to bring this exposure of this radial filter. Now, you can adjust the size and pretty much go over the entire image. I'm going to bring this exposure down. Now, I just brought it, I eyeball this up. Just brought it down 38. Now, as I move this image, it's very subtle, but you can kind of see where you want to deepen it a little bit. Okay, as an added thing, I always drop the highlights within the radial filter. Now let me bring that back to normal, okay? And just a little bit drop brings the attention a little bit more towards the center. Now, I'm looking at this exposure as I'm doing this, and I'm going to boost it up a hair. I mean, it's still down, but down 30. Okay. Now, I look at the shadows, and I'm going to boost them up within the radial filter. Again, our shadows in the image are already up 100, and this just kind of gave it a little bit more. So I'm playing with this, where I want to place it. Good. All right. That's it. I mean, I'm looking at this now. If you wanted to take out this cord here, you can with spot removal. But there's other things in the kitchen, other little elements. So I'm not worried about this cord. I'm going to leave that. But of course, you could take that out if you wanted to work further on that. Okay, that didn't take us much time at all. So let me show you the before and after. Oh, I like the side by side. There we go. Okay, look at this before. Look at this after. I mean, that's amazing when you see that. Let me go back to full screen. I mean, I love it. Now, I didn't do any craziness in Photoshop or stitching images together. I mean, I really just straight out of camera, edit this in Lightroom, and here you go. I can deliver this to my clients. And realtors, brokers, they're really gonna like your work. We as photographers always judge our work, and we also look at it next to other people that have been doing things in the industry longer than us. But for where we are, and we have been doing real estate for the past year, so we're relatively new. I enjoy this for right now. As we get into more luxury, I probably will be doing more of the HDR and different lighting techniques. But for right now, you can see that this is doing a great job. And as we continue to grow, I can bring you more options with real estate images. So thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, I'm here to help as much as I can. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you next time.